What up, everyone? This is Mr. Lord, Dr. Professor Dark Joker, here with another edition of Traditional Fans with Opinions, where I'll give my reviews for whoever I watched, read, or played today. And who are Traditional Fans with Opinions? That is myself, and that is you, the viewers. With all that being said, on with the reviews. To Your Eternity, Season 3, Episode 13. So in this episode, Fushi returns home after trying to, you know, do stuff like basically. So he was impersonating Funa in order to like I guess figure out some stuff about the knockers. And then yeah, so basically after that Fushi returns home and he sees there's some issues with some of the some of the other people he resurrected, so like Gugu and Echo. And so basically so Gugu so he's had to wear his mask, around school, so people were asking about it. Basically, he showed him his wound and like his injury that caused him to have to wear the mask. And then he wears around. He gets attacked. He and Echo get attacked by some thugs, and basically they fight. I guess over they get arrested. I mean, I guess let and released. I guess. And Echo like he tells Fushi about it, and so Gugu had said he would to go back to like his I guess where his homeland, basically where the old shop is at. So basically, his brother's descendants have been running the shop basically since back in the day, and so yeah, and then and basically like, he wears the mask, even though we don't see any scarring. I mean, we don't see like his eyes or anything. So yeah, so and Echo tells Fushi he plans to leave in a little bit. Basically, he wants to learn more about the world, about this modern world, and then so basically you have a March, who's learning more about like basically she's tutor. So Fushi's concerned about everyone like not being happy and basically moving on because he wants them all to stay alive forever. But like obviously, there's some issues with that, and Bond like tries to because there's some people that try and remove the roots that Fushi had grown, during like his slumber, and Bond like basically debates on television about that, and so yeah, so Fushi asks Tanari about if there's anything she wants to do. Like basically, he doesn't wants to make sure things are perfect for everyone. Tanari says that basically with everyone's dreams, so basically everyone's going to deal with that themselves. That Fushi can't necessarily worry about doing all that like himself. So Fushi's like concerned about how they like. Obviously, does still have some issues understanding humans, so he's having trouble with you know he's having trouble with with everyone like basically potentially moving on. And there's a bit where Fushi even tries to impersonate Gugu or try to figure out what happened, and he gets in a fight with those thugs, and Gugu helps him. So yeah, so basically I like this episode, like how they're dealing with how everyone's going over the adapting to the modern world. So interesting to see how the rest of that goes. So yeah, I like this episode. Looking forward to the next one. Tojima wants to be a Kamen Rider, episode 14. So in this episode, Futaba and Kumada fight in some back alley. So outside the dojo. Now, Kumina thinks that Futaba is a Tiger Master. So basically, both of them are surprised by how strong the other is. So Kumida transforms into his like Spider-Man form. Futaba at first thinks he's just another Kamen Rider obsessed cosplayer and fan like his like her brothers and their friends. But when Kumida actually starts using a bunch of his Spire powers, Futaba realizes that he's an actual monster and runs away and basically realizes that Shocker is real. So Spider-Man withdraws, not wanting basically to draw too much attention, and Batman appears before him, and they discuss their individual methods of getting recruiting more Shocker combatants. Spider-Man says Batman draws too much attention by recruiting idol groups, and Spider-Man decides to try to learn more about humans. So Futaba goes to Mitsuba and Yukarishu's apartment and tells him about what happened and that she believes their claims about Shocker being real, and she's like concerned when she realized when Yukarisu says that she's an actual Shocker combatant, and so later, yeah, Sina Seta, who's a some basically she's a member of an idol group. She's gotten overweight from eating too much ramen. So Junko, who's one of her band members, yells at her for basically messing with the group's image due to her getting fat. So Junko leaves. Senna finishes her ramen and goes to the group's office, and she sees Junko, another member of the group, and a bunch of office workers getting turned into Shocker combatants. Senna runs away, and basically she sees a Kumida getting yelled at by his employer over failing to kill Tiger Master, and Senna is attracted to Kumida when she sees him. So Kumida shows his part of his Spider-Man form to the thugs, and they pull out their guns and knives. Senna basically walks towards them. She doesn't see Kumida as like basically his spider face, and she screams and draws, and basically all the bystanders are concerned drama. So Kumida's employer and thugs leave, and they but they trample Senna while leaving. And basically Kumida carries Senna when Senna basically regains consciousness. Kumida asked if she saw anything weird, and basically due to how close their faces are, like Senna just falls head over heels for him. And that's how the episode ends. So yeah, this didn't really have anything to do with Tojima wasn't really involved this episode. He's only showing like a flashback really when Spider-Man remembers like fighting him. So yeah, so basically that happens. So I don't know. Senna is either gonna become a Shocker combatant or monster, or she's gonna basically I don't know like this could get interesting. So looks like so one guy's using idol groups to find combatants. So I'm guessing the idea is that since a lot of people are fans of idols, turning idols into Shocker combatants could potentially help get all those fans under their control. Definitely an interesting method. So this could get very interesting as far as how things go, especially we have some disagreements between like the monsters. And probably Yukarisu says that she was shocked that so basically Spider-Man had wanted to turn Futaba into a monster, and Yukarisu's shocked at that, but she's like, wait, all right, straight to a monster? I was like, turning a monster is what the combatants like basically strive for. And so basically I guess there's some details about also the monsters that Yukarisu doesn't know. Now, one question comes to mind is where's the Shocker leader? Like like that's what I'm like basically like that's what I'm wondering is regards to like that's what I'm wondering. Like that should be like I'm interested in how this goes. Like I'm really interested in how like how this all goes. So I thought this was a good episode. Looking forward to the next one. Digimon Beatbreak episode 14. So in this episode, so this shows a lot of like the tactics team, which is led by Soda Light. So tactics, they basically aren't as I guess they basically don't see Digimon as like living things. They see them as more as tools, and so they do some really harsh training to order to control E-Pulse, and so kind of conflicts with the Glowing Dawn's ideals, and so they fight. So basically, so the two groups compete over a Digimon. So and so basically, so there's a Digimon that's like attacking that like attacks like this one kid, and then like it evolves into like a Scorpiomon. So then the two sides they fight each other over it, and then yeah, it's revealed that basically Tactus was waiting for Scorpiomon that Digimon to like bite the kid. So Timuro, so he's pissed off. Like Tomoro's like pissed off over that. He's like so like basically they fight and yeah, and then after the fight they and yes some some Digivolve. So yeah, so basically then yeah, so Tomoro like he's taunted. Basically, he's taunted by one of the guys in tactics over like being emotional. That basically he's told he can't control like his impulse if he gets emotional. Tomoro's like, I don't care. He and Gakemon say they'll just kick his butt, and then then they basically they win. Like so they win the fight, and then yeah, so this is so yeah. I thought this was a good, so interesting. We're seeing new bounty hunters. So it's how like tactics, like when they there's no official acknowledgement of them capturing Digimon, but the bounty goes away. So it seems like they are some like special group. So yeah, I thought this was a good episode. Interesting how they're introducing tactics, and how yeah. So basically, so yeah, so Raito, who's the guy taunting Tomoro, he's beaten, and so you see yeah, so it looks like there's gonna be a recurrent thing. You have tactics versus um Glow and Dawn. That's gonna be a that is gonna looks like it's gonna be a recurring thing regarding what tactics' motives are. Who knows? So yeah, this is gonna be interesting to see like how that group gets developed. So that's gonna be interesting. And so yeah, so I thought this was a good episode. Looking forward to the next one. Blue Miburo season 2 episode 3. So in this one, so the Miburo get a bunch of recruits So basically, like, so you see the new recruits like trying to adapt, like they're learning about how the Miburo operate, train, stuff like that. There's one guy who, like, I guess basically he's feeling a little cocky, but after losing to Neo, he learns more. He basically respects the Miburo. He said, he leaves, says, but he tells like them like he's gonna train more and then come back. I guess he wants to be more useful, so he's marked as maybe. So you have, however many people leave, like there's still some left. So there's like these pair of brothers that want to they say want to take over the country and turn the Miburo to their ultimate fighting force. They're accepted because basically everyone who showed up passed the test. And so basically they're told, hey, ultimate fighting force, we like that part. And then there's a whole bit where Serizawa is shown to have a injury, like a burn or something. And so like he's there's concerns like so they all he's concerned that there's like Kyoto's gonna become like a battlefield. So he wants like a cannon. He wants basically to prepare like the Miburo for a war. Like I mean, some of that who knows how much of that's his personality, how much of that is his is like yeah, he's actually concerned that there is a war coming. He wants the Miburo be prepared for it. So that I mean that's gonna be you know a major thing that looks like going forward. And yeah, so it's gonna be interesting to see how all that goes. And yeah, so I liked this episode, like how they're setting up like the potential conflict, like whatever's going. Because obviously this is supposed to set up the founding of the Shinsengumi. Like that is the like that is part of the like the history. That is a historical thing, and that's basically what all this is leading up to. So yeah, I thought this was a good episode. Looking forward to the next one. Net account, episode 1. So this is a new show that started on Crunchyroll. So in this show, so main character is Soji and Ishiro. So he's trying to fund surgery for his sister Akari. So how he does it, he makes money by posting videos of himself punching famous fighters, and basically he goes around making trouble. And Akari has the surgery, but then Soji deletes his account, but he's attacked by someone named Kasubata, who tries to destroy his phone. Kasubata basically Soji runs out of the house. Soji texts Akari about the break-in, and yeah, so basically, then yeah, so Kasubata like basically chase him outside, basically like so Kasubata tells Soji that he's having a psychotic episode because basically reveals that Akari died a month ago, and basically Soji is struggling. He remembers what happened, how Akari died, and basically he was texting her because he couldn't accept that she was dead. And then when he got a text back, he just assumed she was alive. Turns out it was just her ghost haunting him. So basically, her ghost had like possessed his phone. And Kasabot reveals that ghosts used to haunt physical locations, but now the issue is that like the online accounts of dead people linger as ghost accounts, and basically the and that when so Akari's account had become a ghost account, and that's what was Soju was texting with, and basically so Soji's phone manifests a holographic version of Akari that turns into like a monster. So Shoji at first doesn't want Kasuba to kill the ghost account because he's like, hey, whatever it looks like, it's still his sister. But then when Akari's ghost account attacks him, knocks out Kasubata, Soji realizes that like Cosmo summons at Warhammer using cyberkinesis from his phone, and then but he's knocked out. So Soji realizes that Akari is dead and he just needs to move on. So he basically manifests his own cyberkinesis power. Basically, he says goodbye. He summons blue flames from his phone that destroy Akari, delete her ghost account. So Kasuba's team arrives, and Kasuba says that you know, basically that Soji's flames were blue, and well, flames are a common cyberkinesis ability, but blue flames are not. Like the fact that they're blue was what shocked everyone. So everyone they decided to take Soji with them to meet in the academy. And so yeah, that ends the episode. So yeah, I thought this was a good start to the show. Introduced the ghost accounts, revealed that Soji has some spiritual powers, and so set up what that he's I guess gonna go to Midnight Academy and like start hunting ghost accounts. Yeah. So I think I've read like the first chapter of the manga. I don't know if I've read past the first chapter, but like I was interested in it. There's other stuff I'm reading. So yeah, so basically I thought it was a good episode, good way to start the series. Yeah, looking forward to the next episode. Scum of the Brave, episode 1. So this is a new show that started on Crunchyroll. So in this show you have like, these like demon lords, but they're basically like Yakuza bosses with there's like some magic powers involved. So it's like basically this is like a gangster show with magic, which is a cool freaking premise, by the way. And so you have like so you have these assassins or bounty hunters called Braves that use a drug called E3 to boost their magical abilities and hunt down like the demon lords and their thugs. And so yeah, so a Yashiro, who's nicknamed the Grim Reaper, he rescues Aki Jogamine, who's a who goes to a school for braves, and basically she was hunting this one thug, but basically he had beaten her, and she was basically probably about to get killed. Yashiro like beats the guy, kills the guy by crushing his head, despite Aki asking him not to. And so Yashiro goes to a bar. Aki and Endo walk in the bar to ask him for help, to save their friend, who is captured by a demon lord named Amberthorn. Yashiro says no at first, like, and like basically like so. Aki wants Yashiro to become her master because she was impressed by his fighting abilities, and then yeah, so this is a interesting premise, and like yeah, so so what's interesting, so the school is mostly girls at I guess at the school for assassins for braves, because girls basically generally have more ether than men, and so yeah, so then what happens is that like so basically they're trying to get him to help save by those two by Endo and Aki in order to save like their friend. And I guess Aki is like very idealistic, has a a I guess why used to look in the world. Well, Yashiro's a veteran. He's probably seen a lot of crap. So yeah, I thought this was a very interesting start. It's a good way to start the series. A good way to introduce the person. So like magic, bounty hunters, and yakuza. That just sounds freaking cool. Like really, that just sounds cool. And so you have like I guess the new kids dealing with the like basically the veteran grunts. So yeah, that should be cool. I'm looking forward to see how the rest of this show goes. Yeah, I like this episode. Looking forward to the next one. Konosuba, God's Blessing on His Wonderful World, Season 3 OVAs. So, yeah, these released last year. I just forgot to watch them. I just randomly came across them. I was like, oh, crap. Yeah. Anyway, so in these OVAs, so the first one, there's a spirit that causes typhoons. Basically, it's like a yearly thing. And I guess it's route time for Axel to deal with that spirit. So the Venturers ask Megaman, Wiz, and Yun for help due to how powerful they are to like basically attack the spirit and pacify it. And so while you know basically Megaman, Wiz, Yun, Darkness, and Kazuma are heading towards the spirit, everyone else is following, and Kazuma notices that everyone basically but everyone's wearing swimsuits except him and Aqua. Aqua's a guy, so obviously she's probably not getting involved in all. And Cosmo asks what's going on, so he's told by Nerdy Ventures that basically since they're at the water, it's a water spirit. So basically everyone just wears swimsuits. And so you see like so Wiz like wears a bikini. Everyone's excited about that. And and you have a and so basically it's revealed that one of the motives for it. So Kaz was told by the Adventure that if they attack the spirit, basically will calm the spirit down. And thanks for being calmed down. The spirit will reward them with a gust of wind that will blow the Bane suits off of the female adventurers. Cosmo's like, I like this goddess. And so all the men are excited for one. So they go there. Aqua tries to calm down the spirit. She's unaware of what the whole deal is, and like all the women are unaware of what the men are wanting. And so, but Aqua's like knocked around and called a bunch of. So Aqua gets pissed off, which I guess really pisses off that spirit. Then you have Wiz, Yun, and Megaman do all their attacks, calm down the spirit. Uh, Basically, the spirit's about to reward the men for their for helping calm her down for being calm. But before she does the gust of wind, basically tells her to leave her, and basically says what, and she then neutralizes that magic, and the wind stopped, and also all the men sad about not basically not seeing the women naked. They go to the succubus brothel to I guess just see visions of. They go to the succubus brothel to get what they want instead, while the women are at the bar drinking. So in the second one, it's OVA. So there's a party of adventurers with names that are very similar to Kazuma's party. So yeah, so it's a funny, and what's funny is that and yeah, so and then basically so the party wants to and that basically that party so led by a guy named Ozuma. So their names sound very similar. So basically they're Matt, Cosma, and his party. So got Ozuma meets Cosma, and Cosmo Concern says his name is Tonica. So he ex- exaggerates some of his exploits, Cosmo's exploits when talking to them. And so they leave, but then they learn. I guess they ask around. They learn who that Tonica was actually Cosmo. So they storm the mansion and try to get Cosmo to come out. So and Megaman's pissed because like Aqua starts actually calling her Megami. So you have Rockless, who's like a Crusader. It's kind of like Darkness. You have a Cure, which is similar to who I guess his name sounds similar to Aqua. So it's funny. So basically, Megaman's pissed. So she challenges Ozma's party to basically that hey, whichever party makes a bigger name for themselves than Axel will be the real one. The other one's the knockoff. And then Ozma's party makes a name for themselves, becomes very useful. And so then there's some like winter wolves that are causing problems. So both parties go out to deal with it. And so Ozma's party shocked at how effective, well, how powerful Kazua's party is. Do you like the way Aqua could use resurrection? Um, Mega Man can use explosion, darkness, be able to take a bunch of hits and all whatever. So they also Cosmos Party defeats those monsters, and then yeah, so then Ozma's party leaves, says bye to them, and says, yeah, all this bad stuff we heard about. Now it turns out the bad stuff they heard about Cosmos Party is true, as there's some flashbacks to previous stuff that's happened in the show. And so yeah, then this stuff can happen apply to them, and then they say bye. So yeah, I thought these were good episode. I thought these were good episodes. I wish I knew that these came out. Yeah, I did not. I did. I've told like, either I just forgot they came out, just forgot to watch it, or I just never or I just never got a notification, saw the notification or something about it. Who knows? Whatever. I saw it now. I watched them. I thought they were good. But yeah, hopefully we get a season four. Behind the Curtain, Stranger Things: The First Shadow. So this is a documentary that released on Netflix last April. I was not aware of it releasing. I just randomly came across it on Netflix. I was like, wait, what the heck? There was a documentary about that play? Because I had heard about the play leading up to season five, how like the play like gives some explanation about the Upside Down, about Vecta's backstory. Some backstory for those things that would have been useful in season five instead of a bunch of useless melodrama. And like yeah, so it goes over so this documentary goes over like, how the cast and crew prepared for its debut in London, and a lot of stuff regarding like the story and all that, the actors and all that. So I thought this was a you know, decent documentary, interesting how it goes over all of it, all the information, some of the stories from what I've heard about it. I think it would have been I think it would have been cool to see. Like some of this stuff is stuff that I think is what we should have seen in season five. Not like because there was so much stuff in season five, but a lot of the stuff just felt like nothing. This stuff I feel like would have made it just that season a lot better. Like more Vecna's backstory, explanations with the upside down, like what that was. That's what we should have gotten. But we got, yeah, but of course we got what we got in season five. Like, gosh, there were mistakes made with season five, and and by the way, the conforming gate was not one of the things that appeared. You know, yeah. So, gosh, I think this document I liked it. I thought it was good. It was interesting how they explained everything. So yeah, I thought it was a good documentary. Despite the problems with how season five went, I do think this is a good documentary, so I recommend watching it. Well, and that's it. Did, did y'all like the stuff I reviewed? And if you have your own opinions about all that, you put all that in the comments. Thank you for watching, and like, subscribe, and all that. And look forward to the next video.